Have you been catching yourself wondering, since silver's at all-time highs, what kind of silver should I be buying right now? You know, am I getting a good deal? Am I not getting a good deal? Am I acting crazy? Am I not acting crazy? Let's talk about it, guys. Welcome back to the channel. Tar Heel Stacking here. Thank you guys for tuning in. If y'all get value out of these videos, please consider hitting that like button and subscribe button down below. We kind of try to post here daily and trying to get back into that routine. So today's video, I kind of want to talk about what kind of silver you should really be buying at all-time highs, right? And it's going to depend and it's going to vary depending on your situation and what kind of stacker you are to begin with. Me, I'm kind of the type of stacker where I'm always looking for the best deal possible, especially at all-time highs, because when you're at all-time highs, you get massive swings back and forth. And you could say, today I go out and buy, let's say, 5 ounces of silver, right? Or whatever. You wake up tomorrow and it's gone down, say I bought at 53 and now it's at 49, right? So you lose money, and that's only if you sell. But the first thing you want to think about when buying silver at all-time highs is your timeline. If you're the type of person that's just buying silver for a short-term thing, short-term investment or whatever, I would probably look into a different asset class, to be honest. If you're, silver is not really one of those assets you just want to hop in and out of. It's really a place for long-term investing and a long-term mindset, because of how, when you're buying at all-time highs, you don't want to get in and risk it going down the next day, right? So you got to have, especially at all-time highs, you got to have that mindset of long-term. And if you don't, look somewhere else, right? But the type of silver you want to be buying, and like I said, it depends on what kind of stack you are. But me, I'm looking for the silver that's the least premium possible, right? And I know right now, 90% is a big topic in the community. It's a very hot take, if you will, if you're saying you're buying 90%. But it feels like some people are so short-term, or just like have short-term memory loss or something. A few years back, 90% was some of the hottest stuff you could buy, right? The premiums on it were sky high. And now that, it's gotten a bad rap with the refiners, they're not taking anymore, blah, blah, blah. People are scared of it, right? And it's literally the best deal you can have right now is buying 90%. You can get it sometimes. If you go to these coin shows, you can get it almost $3, $4, sometimes $5 under spot for 90%. And again, if you have that long-term, vision for silver, it's an incredible deal, especially if you believe in it, right? Because in my opinion, I think down the road, I don't know, it could be years down the road, but I really do think 90% will have a comeback and will have a big rise in the future. Again, buying it right now at such a steep discount is really going to pay off in the long run, in my opinion. So that's really what I'm buying right now, because it's the best possible deal you can have is 90%, especially at these coin shows. Hell, you can even pick it up on eBay for pretty cheap. You got to be careful on eBay, do your due diligence, but the deals are out there to be had, if you're looking for them. The next one I would recommend is generic silver, right? At all-time highs, especially right now, you got your premium silver like American Eagles and Sovereign coins that just have those ridiculous premiums on them right now. Silver Eagles, I've seen somewhere, I think it was moneymetals.com, it's like a $9 premium on 1 ounce of silver, which is just astronomical. It's just too expensive. There's no point. I don't even see a reason to buy them, right? Unless you're just an avid Silver Eagle lover. But generic rounds are definitely one way to go. They're the closest you can get to spot. And even right now, man, I've seen at a coin show, they're selling generic silver rounds under spot. The marketplace for silver right now is just so out of whack. It's just crazy to see when you go to some of these coin shows, what things are selling for. You go to one table and ask, and then you go to another, and it's just, there's such a wide range of things, or of a price range that people are selling and buying at. But especially at all time, it's just freaking people out, right? It's just freaking people out. The next type of silver you want to be buying at all-time highs, because it's got the least premium attached to it, is bigger silver bars. I'm a huge lover of big silver bars, and you got there's not much premium on them as well. I wouldn't recommend going above, right now, about 10 ounces. 10 ounces is about as high as I go right now, because when you get bigger than 10 ounces, they're a little bit harder to move when you do want to sell them. So in my personal opinion, not financial advice, if you're going to buy some generic silver bars, I would definitely look from 5 to 10 ounces. I wouldn't go any higher than 10, because they are a little harder to move if the time arises where you do need to sell it. But there's just so many different ways you can go with buying silver, and leave some comments down below if you have any questions about it, and I'll be happy to answer any questions you have. But if you're a stacker like me, you're always out there looking for the the best deal, right? And some these there are some of these collectible pieces of silver out there, these like massive high premium silver pieces out there. And have I been caught buying them? Yes, because I see some and they're super cool. And that's something you kind of want to dig in after you have your foundation silver stack. Then you can start venturing into the higher premium collectibles, because when you go to sell those high premium collectibles, most people are just going to pay you the silver value, unfortunately, unless you can sell them on the secondary market like eBay and kind of get what they're worth. But even then, they're just a lot harder to recoup your investment unless you really bought it low, say at like $37 and now it's $52. Then you can kind of get your investment back. But I would kind of avoid those higher premium silver right now, and I would just focus on getting you a good foundational stack. What I did, I stacked my first 100 ounces, and then I started venturing into the collectible side of things. That's just what I live by. Like I said, not financial advice. Do whatever suits you the best, but that's kind of just something I like to stick by. But if I run across a piece that I absolutely just can't pass up, then fucking I'm gonna buy it, right? That's kind of my thoughts on buying silver and what kind of silver you need to be buying at all-time highs. Everybody's gonna have their own opinion about it. Should you even be buying it all, whatever. But just stick to, if you want to play it safe, just stick to the lower premium stuff. And if you really want to get controversial, go ahead and pick up a big old sack of 90%, right? I really don't understand people's views on 90% right now. It's like I said in the beginning, I think they just have some short-term memory, or they just really have lost all faith in it. But I really think 90% could have a huge comeback in the next few years. Not financial advice, it's just my thoughts, but we'll see what happens. But anyway, hope y'all enjoyed it. Leave a comment down below. Consider hitting that subscribe button. If y'all have any questions, let me know. I'll be glad to help you out and point you in the right direction. Till next time, y'all be safe.